We buy quality clothing because it will last longer and because it's more likely to get passed on or resold. So let me give you a few ideas on how to find quality clothing. First, consider the fabric. Get your hands on it and think about how long it will last and how it's going to do in the laundry. Cotton wovens, like a nice cotton button-down shirt, will often last a while. They don't stretch. They're just a nice, high-quality, sturdy fabric, whereas a thin jersey knit are so beautiful the first time you put them on, but after a couple washings, they kind of pill up like that, and they just don't look quite as good. And they're harder to donate and resell because they don't look quite as good the next time around. Here is a really good knit. It's not much heavier than this one, but it is super high quality. This one's from Be Good Clothing. It's organic, it's beautiful, it's been through a couple washings already, it still looks fantastic. Look also for lined garments. They indicate higher quality and longevity of a piece, and they move nicely with you. Second, check out the construction and seams. A well-made garment has nice flat seams that are carefully reinforced. The large majority of your garments probably have serged seams, which look like this. You'll see it especially inside t-shirts. Serging means the threads wrap around the raw edge of the fabric so that they will not fray as they are washed and worn. A sewn and serged seam is good, and you will see that on a good garment. But a French or felled seam is better. So you see this seam right here. All of the raw edges are completely tucked away inside the casing, so they will never be seen and they will never fray in there. The inside of this shirt looks almost as good as the outside. Top stitching is another bonus, as it will reinforce seams and reduce the risk of tearing. Here is a skirt I made. And after each seam I made on the inside, I top stitched on the outside, so you know those seams are holding. With prints or stripes, look for congruity with the pattern. Stripes are very in right now, and you can see the careful construction of a garment whose stripes match at the seams, like this one. If they do not match, that doesn't necessarily mean poor quality, but when they do, you know that the designer had high standards and specific requirements for the garment and that they were followed. Think also about stress points on a garment, which are places that handle a little extra strain. So consider which seams are pulled the most when you sit down or move your arms. Put it on and move around and see where it might pull. So think when you sit, which seam is it going to pull? When you move your arms, often it's back, center back, or this seam back here. So do that. Put it on, move around, see what happens. Test it out a little bit. And of course, check fasteners like buttons and zippers. Make sure they are secure and functioning. Finally, look for garments that are repairable or alterable. Some garments are made in a way that it's easy to replace elastic inside the casing, like children's clothing. And some garments come with extra buttons, maybe in a little plastic baggie hanging with the tag, or sometimes they are sewn right on the garment inside where you can't see them, but that's why they're there. They're extra buttons for you to use. Garments with wide hems. This is the inside of a skirt here, and I have a nice 3-inch wide hemline, which can be taken up or down with the next person. Oftentimes a good hem is done with a blind hem stitch that you can't even hardly see from the outside, and it's easy to tear out and then take the hem up or down just a little bit. Look for that on dresses and skirts and pants. I find pieces all the time at thrift stores that just need a little reinforcing or hemming or tucking, and I tell my friends, sewing is not rocket science. Small alterations are really not a big deal, and you can do it. I've made patches for my kids' jeans in cute shapes like hearts and zigzags, and they almost look like they were originally sewn that way. I appreciate a high quality garment. It's the fabric, the construction, and the finishings and the little details. Now, I'm probably hyper aware of these aspects of a garment, but every one of us has dealt with the outcome of low quality production. So next time you're in a store, try on the nice stuff and see what you notice. And leave me a comment below and tell me about it.